Hey everyone, if you think you don't have time to make gravy for your meal, I'm going to show you a very quick recipe that takes a little less than 5 minutes. And just have your pan preheated and add 1/4 cup of cooking oil or shortening. And then you're going to add 1/2 cup of flour, and I added 1/4 cup at a time just to make sure I needed that full amount. And then you'll just cook that until you cook all the flour taste out of that. And you're going to just whisk it. And it only takes a couple minutes. Actually, this is the longest part of making the gravy because after you add the milk, it comes together extremely quickly. And so I'm just mixing this all together, and I added, I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of salt and 1/2 teaspoon of pepper, and you just add that to taste. And just keep mixing that, and it'll begin to brown just a little bit. And in the meantime, you can add your milk, and it's going to be 3 cups. Unless you want it thinner, then you can just add a little more milk. And I'm putting my milk in the microwave just to warm it up a little bit. I just put it in there for a couple of minutes just so that it's just not ice cold milk hitting that hot pan. And I'm starting this off on medium-high heat, and that's why it comes together so quickly. After I start adding the milk, I will go ahead and reduce the heat some, because as you can see, it does thicken very, very quickly. So I reduced the heat to about medium and just continue to whisk that and add milk a little bit at a time. And you might find as you're adding the milk that you need to reduce the heat a little more to keep it from boiling over. And as you're whisking it, make sure that you're scraping the bottom and the sides continuously and mixing that together. And there's where I added the salt and pepper. This gravy is really good over any kind of meat dish you have, or potatoes, biscuits, toast, whatever you have in mind to have it with. And keep in mind that the more this gravy cools, the thicker it gets. So especially if you have to reheat it. If you have this in the refrigerator, any leftovers in the refrigerator, and you want to reheat it, then you will want to add additional milk until it comes to the consistency that you would like. There are so many gravy recipes out there, and people do it differently. Everybody does it differently, actually. And this is just my go-to really quick and easy recipe for a very tasty milk gravy. At this point, I actually have turned the heat off because this is a cast iron skillet and it retains heat. And as you can see, it's still bubbling. And so I'll just keep stirring that for another minute or two. But the heat is off. So next time you're in a hurry for some gravy, give this recipe a try. And hey, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and leave a comment. So thanks so much for stopping by, and I'll see you next time.